comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blitzen and all his reindeer pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
What's up, quarantiners? SM team here, desperately wanting you to know we still love you, even though we're not seeing each other anymore.
Yeah, starting to feel like that weird thing I had back in college with my ex.
Once again, programming came to a screeching halt as COVID cases skyrocketed over the last few weeks. It's been disappointing for so many reasons, and it's been so sad for us not to be able to be with you guys. At the same time, it's given us some time to think back on this last semester, and we are so thankful for the time we got to spend around backyard bonfires, cooking all sorts of food over an open fire, lighting each other up with paintballs, dressing up and throwing gutter balls at the bowling alley, hanging at Culver's, and sitting in lawn chairs in the church parking lot, talking about the things in life that matter most to us. In a time where moments to connect with each other feel few and far between, we are so grateful for the chances we got to do that this semester. So thanks for continuing to sign up and show up and hang out whenever we could. But we told you this semester would be crazy, that we'd have to pivot when we needed to, and pivot we have. So as life shuts down again, we went back to the drawing board to come up with fresh, new ideas for the coming month. And here's what we've got.
We are calling this next month of programming a December to Remember. Because in a year where we're all doing our very best to try and forget, we are hoping to provide you with a December to remember.
Hey, that's got a nice ring to it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty clever, huh?
No, but like such a nice ring, like I feel like I've heard it before.
Really? Heard it before?
Yeah, it sounds super familiar.
Oh, yeah. That's because I stole it. See, December to Remember, maybe you've heard it before. It's been the yearly ad campaign released by the car company Lexus every December for the last now 21 years, since before any of you were born. My guess is you've probably seen one of these commercials, but here's one to jog your memory.
So what would you like?
Can I have a 2017 Lexus LX 570 with 21-inch alloys and dual screen entertainment?
Yeah.
If you're going to wish big at the Lexus December to Remember sales event. See your Lexus dealer.
It just puts you in the Christmas spirit, huh? And the whole thing is honestly pretty genius. I think the biggest reason why I think it's been so effective, why it's worked for 20 plus years, why it's become so recognizable is because the music, the sights, the sounds, it all taps into one of the deepest longings of the human heart that is felt so strongly at this time of year. Hope. There's something about Christmas time that just makes you want to hope again, to dream again, maybe to even believe in Santa again.
Wait, what?
Anyway, you get the idea. There's something inside each of us that's fueled by hope. Hope that things will get better, that problems will get fixed, that friendships will be reconciled, that our world, our communities, our country, our family will be unified again. And that's why the December to Remember ad campaign has been so successful. It leverages that special feeling that we get this time of year, the feeling of hope. But just like the rest of 2020, if you're getting your hopes up that on Christmas morning you'll be running out of your house in slippers and a cute scarf to find snow trickling down on a brand new Lexus parked in your driveway and topped with a big red bow, you will be sorely disappointed. But every year, even in a year that will forever be remembered as a year of crushed dreams and squashed hopes, we can't help but get our hopes up all over again, can we? Hope that this season will once again usher us into moments and relationships and parties and gifts and meals that we'll remember forever. Hope that this Christmas will be added to our long list of Christmas memories that we'll never forget, that this December will be one to remember. That's why Christmas is filled with so many traditions. Everything that we do at Christmas time is built around our desire to relive the Christmases we love to remember. That's why you watch those old movies and listen to those old songs. I mean, when else in the world do you watch movies that were made in the 1950s, right? No one's road tripping in the middle of July thinking, hey, anyone got any Bing Crosby to throw on? How about some jazzy instrumental pieces from an old cartoon that we could listen to? No, we never do that. But we do it at Christmas time. Because there's something about those movies, those scenes, those lines, those songs, that voice that tethers us to the many Decembers we love to remember and hope desperately to recreate. See, Christmas is all about hope. In fact, every year, Christians all over the world celebrate a season called Advent leading up to Christmas. And I'm not really talking about the awkward conversations your parents try to have around the dinner table every December. But the first theme of Advent is hope or expectation, which I think is a little hard to start with because if there's one thing that we're reluctant to do after a year like this last one, it's get our hopes up. In fact, many of us have probably worked very hard to keep our hopes down, to set our expectations low, to assume the worst and plan for disappointment. It's no wonder we're all so cheery and getting along with each other right now, huh? But after a year of dashed hopes and unrealized expectations and disappointing outcomes, the last thing you want to do is start hoping again. And it leaves you asking the question, is there anything in life worth hoping in, depending on, counting on, banking on, worth believing in or relying on? Can anything really deliver on its promise? Is anything or anyone worth putting our hope in? Well, the ancient tribe of Israel were feeling the same way back when a man named Isaiah lived. And at one point in their history, it seemed like everything was going right. Their nation was strong, their families were connected, their hopes were being realized, their cities were flourishing. It felt like God was for them and with them and guiding them. But through a handful of unfortunate circumstances, and generations who had made mistakes and wandered from God and put their hope in things that failed them, they found themselves homeless, directionless, and altogether hopeless. And it's into this reality that the prophet Isaiah speaks a word of hope over them in Isaiah 53. A reminder to recalibrate, to remember the God who had brought them out of slavery and preserved their lives and guided them through trying times and had forgiven them time and time again. And he speaks about a suffering servant who would one day come, a Messiah or a Savior, who would be crushed and bruised and suffer the worst of what humanity had to offer, but whose life and death would somehow reunite humanity back to God, restore creation. A ray of hope in a world of darkness. In the middle of a season we find ourselves in of dashed hopes and crushed dreams, Isaiah invites them to hope again. But not just in anything. Not in a certain leader, not in a certain outcome, not in certain circumstances, but rather in a coming person. And he prophesies about the Savior that would one day come, a Savior that in fact did come, that we celebrate at Christmas time. Hope realized, relationship restored. And at the end of all of it, a God worth trusting. See, for a group of people that wondered if it was worth hoping again, Isaiah encouraged the Israelites to once again hope in the God who had proven himself to be worth trusting so many times before. And that's what we want to do this December. And in a year that we will never forget, for possibly all the wrong reasons, we want this to be a December you remember for all the right reasons. A December where you once again place your hope in a God that has proven throughout thousands of years of human history and proven in your own life in the past to be a God worth trusting. And maybe it'll take everything else, every sports season, every homecoming dream, every senior year plan, every Thanksgiving vacation, every canceled trip, and every closed down school. Maybe it took everything else failing to deliver on its promise for you to remember the God who never fails to keep his promises. So here's what we're going to do. We'll release 3 more of these videos in the coming weeks, hoping to reconnect you with God, and you'll get the chance to wrestle with where you have placed your hope in the last year. They'll come out every single Sunday afternoon, so make sure you are on a Remind texting list so you don't miss out when we send the videos. We'll also shoot them out to parents through email. But that's not all, and Sarah's going to tell you what else is coming.
On top of that, we'll have 2 really fun chances to connect with each other. The first will be December 6th. In honor of the late, great Alex Trebek, we'll have small group Christmas Jeopardy. More info to come, but you'll print your game card that we send to you, you'll log on to Zoom, and then you'll compete against your small group for the chance to win some holiday prizes. Second, as is our tradition, we'll be getting together to watch a Christmas movie. We do this every December, and we are still slotted to do it at Studio Movie Grill on December 13th. This will look a lot like the movie night we had back in September, except this time we're asking you to wear your ugliest Christmas sweater or your favorite Christmas jammies. We'll be showing a Christmas classic the whole fam is sure to love. If Studio Movie Grill is closed down at that point, we have a plan for a digital watch party, so stay tuned.
So, while we can't guarantee that a new Lexus with a big red bow will be sitting in your driveway on Christmas morning, we hope that you remember this December as a pivotal moment in your faith journey where you chose to put your hope in a God who never fails.
Can